Joining us now is journalist and former Army Ranger Marty Skovlin Jr. Marty helped Joe Kent pen the book, Send Me, the true story of a mother at war, which is about Kent's late wife, Shannon. Marty, thanks for joining us. Knowing Kent's convictions as you do you believe he would have leaked classified intel?
No, Joe Kent has spent over 20 years in the intelligence community, in the special operations community, from being an Army Ranger to a Special Forces soldier to working in the CIA's ground branch. This would be a very curious time for him to all of a sudden start leaking information. Even when we worked on the book together about his late hero wife, Shannon Kent, he insisted that we submit the book for pre-publication review with the Department of Defense and all the intelligence agencies. He just does not have a track record of anything other than standing on his principles. And whether you agree with his views or not, his political views, he is the person you see. What he says in private is what he says in public. Means what he says what he means.
And we've mentioned how he is a Trump insider. He was a CIA paramilitary officer, as you mentioned, but he's always been a MAGA hardliner who has even pushed conspiracy theories about January 6th and Charlie Kirk's death. Does that make his credibility, I guess, in question? Why should the American public believe him that there was no imminent threat and not the president? Do you believe him?
Well, I think that our most sacred duty as Americans, among the most sacred duties, is to always question and hold our public figures accountable. So anything that Joe has said in his capacity as a public figure is open to criticism and question. And do I think that he's an expert on all things the Middle East and Iran and war in that region? Yes, absolutely. The other topics, I mean, those are, as a politician, he's commented on them, of course, but they're not his area of expertise that 20 years of war in the Middle East has brought him. So I think it's right to question public figures, to criticize if they don't align with your views. But you can't deny that Joe Kent is probably the most qualified person in any room he's in when it comes to talking about Iran or war with Iran.
He has strong feelings about Israel. He blames Israel and its powerful American lobby for not only leading the U.S. into this war, but also for the wars that led to his wife's death while hunting ISIS. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell says Kent is spreading virulent anti-Semitism. Have you ever viewed any of his rhetoric as anti-Semitic?
No, it just doesn't match up with anything that I've discussed with him in private or anything that he's said in public. I want to be very careful about drawing a line and a distinction between criticizing the nation of Israel and the Jewish people and the Jewish faith. He's never said anything about the Jewish people or the Jewish faith. And he's been very complimentary, including his interview last night on Tucker Carlson, of the Israeli intelligence apparatus and the intelligence and the military capability of Israel. I think he's just got a problem with what he sees as influence in the United States government from Israel, as well as other nations that he's called out in the past.
He was one of Tulsi Gabbard's top advisors. What do you know about their working relationship? Would he have felt comfortable raising his concerns to her?
I can't speak to their relationship specifically, but Joe Kent is not the type of person that's going to hold back from raising concerns, valid concerns that he feels that he has in any room. That doesn't matter if he's in a room with the DNI or the president himself or with international partners. That's just not the type of person that he is to hold back or feel uncomfortable bringing up salient points.
Gabbard says she leaves it up to the president to determine what rises to the level of an imminent threat. As a combat veteran yourself who deployed 5 times into the region, are you concerned with how the president is perhaps digesting intelligence and the potential risks it poses to U.S. troops?
I'm very concerned. We don't have the best track record in the Middle East at this point when it comes to military campaigns. And, am I losing any sleep about the Ayatollah being killed or the regime there and what they have done to those people? I mean, my heart broke for the Iranian people when they were being killed by the tens of thousands after protests a month ago. So, I have no love for the regime over there. But when we are doing things in the Middle East or any part of the world where American lives are being put on the line, American service members, one, I need Congress to do their job and reclaim their war powers and be the check on power that they are supposed to be. We have ceded far too much power to the executive branch. That applies to any president over the past 20 years. And, we need to know what the outcome is for this campaign against Iran. We need to know what the goals are. We need to know the actual reason, because there's been multiple reasons cited. So yes, I am concerned, and I want to know why and when and how we're going to be concluding this war, or what the success criteria is.